Okay, let's talk about the problem of the day. Be sure to answer the questions I ask out loud and think about how your work is the same or different from what we talk about together. Remember, you're brilliant. We're going to talk about one way of tackling this problem. That doesn't mean it's the only way. Okay, what'd you notice about the units in this problem? Say it out loud. Right, the problem is giving us time in hours, but it's asking us to find the total elapsed time in minutes. So what ratio could help us? Go ahead and say it out loud. Yes, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. That is going to be a helpful ratio for this problem for sure. Sorry about that. Okay. And how could we represent this problem? Go ahead and say it out loud. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you might have represented it, but one way would be to put E times 60 equals M, right? Where E is the elapsed time in hours times 60 because there's 60 minutes in an hour. And then M would be the elapsed time in minutes. Okay, great. So how do we find this elapsed time in hours to start us off here? Say it out loud. Right. We know from last year that we could use a number line to help us. Sorry, I just had to fix that label. It's minutes in an hour. Anyway, we know we can use a number line to help us to find an elapsed time. How would we do that in this case? Say it out loud. Okay, yes. We know that our start time, right, that is 6 o'clock. And we know that our end time, that is 8 o'clock, right? But we don't know our elapsed. So we could draw our number line. We could put 6 a.m. as our start, 8 a.m. as our end, and then just see how many jumps of hours or minutes it would take to get from 6 to 8 o'clock. And how many hour jumps would I need to get from 6 to 8 o'clock? Say it out loud. Yeah, right. Two, right? 6 to 7, 7 to 8. I'll label this as 1 hour and 1 hour, and that was 7, and that got me right to 8 o'clock. Okay, great. I mean, some of you might have also used mental math to just realize the elapsed time was 2 hours. That also does make sense for a simple elapsed time problem like going from 6 to 8 a.m. All right, so now how am I going to convert from those 2 hours then into minutes? Go ahead and say it out loud. Right, I'm going to take the 2 hours times 60 minutes in each hour. Why does multiplication make sense when converting from hours to minutes? Go ahead and say it out loud. Yeah, just like yesterday, we're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. And when we do that, it takes more of the smaller unit to equal the same amount as the larger unit. So 2 times 60 is 120 minutes. That's how long she has to get ready. Great. Okay, before we move on, what's a thinking question we could ask ourselves that would help us be successful with these problems today? Think again about units and ratios. What can we ask ourselves? Say it out loud. we could actually use the exact same thinking question as yesterday. What units are in this problem, and what ratio will help me to convert. Awesome.